Hi everyone, welcome back to Parashat Pantry. It's good to see you again. Hope you had a happy Passover. This week we continue in our regular Torah reading cycle, picking up with Parashat Shemini, which comes from the book of Leviticus, chapter 11, and we are specifically going to be looking at verse 9 today. This portion is really interesting because this is where we first hear about the rules for keeping kosher. That is to say, the rules that teach us as Jews what we are supposed to eat and what we are not supposed to eat. God says, "Speak to the Israelite people, Moses, saying, these are the creatures that you may eat from among all of the animals." And of the animals we hear of animals that have hoofs. That's why we're not allowed to eat pig or swine, because it doesn't have a true hoof. And we also hear about animals that digest their food in a certain way. Then the Torah in verse 9 continues to talk about animals that live in water, saying, whether it is the water of the sea or the water of the stream, in order for you to eat it, it has to have fins and scales. Now the Talmud comments on this and says that all fish have fins, but there are some that do not have scales. So what is it about the scales? One rabbi comes to teach us that scales represent the armor on the body of the fish. And they represent the quality of integrity that the fish has, because the scales protect the fish from the many things that the challenges of life might throw its way. So this rabbi comments that a person like us also must have integrity. Integrity, moral values, integrity and honesty. We must not deceive, lie, or cheat. And having integrity also means that we have an absolute understanding of what is right or wrong. So you might ask, what does a fish having scales have to do with whether or not we can eat it? And a lot of people ask this question today. Why keep kosher? Some of us might be really into following the traditional laws for a reason, because that's the way they were written. They give us sacred purpose. I personally follow these laws because of their intention, not necessarily because of the way the rule was written or what it says, but because it brings me meaning or purpose. I like to think, I love the saying, you are what you eat. And so we have to be mindful of what we put in to our bodies. I like to think that God thought this way too, when God instructed the Israelites on what they were to eat, not just giving them obscure laws, but laws that had meaning and purpose as well. So of course these laws are open for interpretation today, and I hope you will also think about what it is that you put into your body, and I hope you make these decisions with integrity in a way that is important to you. So I was just going to show you quickly how to prepare my favorite fish meal. I also have to say there's something really wonderful about fish in our tradition and the laws of keeping kosher, that fish is considered neither milk nor meat. It's considered neutral or parv. So you can eat it with anything. It's like the magical food. So I was going to prepare a broiled salmon. I just have a fillet of Atlantic salmon. Actually, I chose a farm-raised salmon because I like, again, to be thoughtful about how I eat and how the animal was raised. And all I need to do is preheat my oven to broil. You can also do this in a toaster oven. I've already sprayed the pan with oil, and the skin side is down so that it doesn't stick. And I am going to generously cover my salmon with salt and pepper, and Ella's gonna help me with the pepper. I like to be really generous with the salt and pepper. Thank you, Oren. And after the salt and pepper, let's do a little bit more. We are going to sprinkle, here, Oren, you can help with this part. Sprinkle some lemon juice right over the salmon. So why don't you try to squeeze the lemon as I lift you up. Squeeze a little bit over, drizzle it over salmon. Great job, that's enough.
No, I can.
Can you squeeze a little, Oren? Get some juice out. The last thing we're going to do is pat some butter over top. And what this is going to do is it's going to melt in the broiler. So if we touch the raw fish, we want to make sure we wash our hands. So our salmon is ready to go into the oven. I'm going to make sure that the oven rack is high in the oven so this can sit right under the boiler. And we're going to watch it until the salmon is cooked all the way through and just begins to flake. The top of it will be nice and brown and crispy. So that is our lesson from Parashat Pantry for today, reminding you to have purpose, intention, and integrity in your actions, especially in choosing what you eat. So we will see you next week. Shabbat Shalom.
לעשות בדברי תורה